What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here tonight with a new review for Ready to Love, season 4, episode number 3. Tables are turned. All right, you guys. So before we get into this review, I want to just speak on something real quick, you guys. Why y'all didn't tell me that these people on this show, when it comes down to social media, they respond? I have had so many of these cast members respond to my tweets. Now, I do want to put this out here. Most of the things that I say on social media is just me for social media. My videos is just me having fun and joking. So you guys remember I told you in the first episode, Amber tweeted me. Well, last week's episode, Khalil tweeted me. I was like, oh God. Then a few days later, I got followed by somebody. Joel follows me on Twitter now, you guys. And when Joel initially followed me, I didn't know who he was. Because his name on Twitter, well, like his initials, actually has my initials, is JB. And I'm like, who is this? Because he has his profile picture, it's him sitting with dark glasses on his eyes. So I'm like, I can't tell who that is. So I'm like, I don't know who this creepy guy is that just followed me. Then I went and looked at his header, and I saw the tattoos. I'm like, oh, Joel from Ready to Love. I'm like, okay, I figured it out. It took me a minute to figure it out because I had to look and see if we had anybody in common that we were following or that follows us. And On follows me, so he follows On, and I follow On. So I saw On. I was like, Joel. But yeah, you guys did not tell me that these people on this show, they respond to tweets. They respond. But it's all fun. It's all fun. I actually enjoy, this. I'm so glad that I didn't say that I went to Houston last Saturday after I uploaded my video. That next morning I went to Houston. So I'm glad I didn't say nothing because I didn't want nobody looking for me. But without further ado, let's get into this review, shall we? All right, you guys. So before I actually start the review, if you guys are watching this video and you keep coming back every single week, why haven't you subscribed to the channel? You're hurting my feelings. It's like you're taking me out on a date and, you're doing like AJ and you're not paying for my dinner. So do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Please. I love you guys. But, so the episode. So this episode, we see the singles and they are going to do a brunch. So, where we at? Yeah, they're having a brunch. So we find out that Ida had her eyes on Ron. I was like, girl, I didn't see that coming. Did y'all see that? So nephew Tommy comes out, he talks to the group, and he tells them that one lady will be leaving by the end of that brunch. Oh God, so I have in my notes here. So Troy thinks he is the shit, right? But Troy is more like Troy is full of shit. Just gotta be real with you. So with this brunch, Ida was like really awkward throughout the entire brunch. She had a conversation with Dietrich at one point. That conversation with Dietrich was cringeworthy. I just was like, what is she doing? I mean, I got that she was nervous, but her nerves were a different breed of nerves. And then at this brunch, KG, so he was sitting down talking to Amber, and one of you guys left it in the conversation about what happened with KG last season. Is the girl's name Naya? You guys know I didn't watch it, but so the situation, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I love when you guys correct me, but correct me. So the situation was that KG was getting to know Naya. They had a conversation about finances, right? And once he said that he wants to split the bills, that's when Naya just kind of pushed him to the wayside, right? And then you guys told me that Naya got eliminated the next week. Congratulations. I'm so glad that they did that because that's fucked up. And I like what KG's answer to Amber was. And I was thinking about that because when the whatever subscriber was that told me that information, I did see the comment, but at the time that you sent the comment, I was actually en route to Houston, so I couldn't really respond to you. I had to respond to you once I got into Houston. So, and I was just thinking when I read the comment, and I was just thinking to myself, like, interesting. And he said exactly what I was thinking last week, because I feel like in most cases, there's nothing wrong with having a man take care of you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I always feel that women should be financially independent of their man, because if your man holds if your man holds everything, then how do I want to say this? It's not I'm not saying what I'm trying to say is not bad. I'm trying to get it out in a cohesive way. So for a woman, let's just say your man buys you a car, he pays your insurance, he pays the water bill, all those bills. Let's say if you're a kept woman, and then if he divorces you and leaves you for the next young thing that comes along when you get older, then what if you're not used to that? If you didn't know that, oh, you have to pay the water bill, like Shannon Bedore from Real Housewives of Orange County, you would be like, damn, I didn't know you're supposed to pay that. And then when it comes to the car, like if you guys go through a divorce and he'd be like, oh, that's my car, I pay the insurance, you got to give that over to me, and then you be left with nothing. So he doesn't want to hold, all the cards in the relationship, and I respect that. And that gave me so KG is, at the top of my list. Like, I'm like, okay, KG, I see you. So with the guys, there's only two guys that I really think are good guys in this show so far, and that is KG, and that is definitely Joel. And it's not because Joel follows me, it's just because I think Joel is a good guy. I also think David is a good guy. We're gonna talk about David. I think David is a good guy. I just don't understand David. So then we see AJ. So AJ was having a conversation with Andrea. I don't know how you pronounce the name. But that conversation was really, really short. And then Stacy came up to get him to have a conversation with him. Now here's the thing about it. Like, I'm going to talk about AJ. Because this conversation with Stacy, you could kind of compare it to a conversation that he's going to have with Alexis later in the episode, because she was talking about how tall he was. She was talking about how tall, she guessed how tall he was. Then she was talking about his shoe size. She said he wears size 13. She says, I'm good with measurements. And that could be taken as a sexual innuendo, but he didn't take that as a sexual innuendo and put a button in that. Because like I said, we're going to discuss it in a little bit. But let's pause here and keep going. All right, you guys. So let's talk about David. So when I heard David say he put Tressa in the homegirl vibe, I'm like, oh no, not the homie vibe. Because y'all know I like Tressa. Tressa is one of my top women. Of the women, Tressa is at the top of my list. Like, I love me some Tressa. It's Tressa, it's Vernisha, it's Tressa, Vernisha, Amber, and then Kyra. Those are my top four for the women. I don't have a top four for the men. I have a top two. I don't have a top two. Joel actually I have a top three. Joel, KG, and David. That's it. That's my top three. But I do have but when it comes to the women, I do have a top. Actually, you know what? Let's have a top five. I'm gonna have a top five for the women, because I just thought about another woman that I actually really, 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 really like. So we're gonna say, like I said, Tressa, Vernisha, Amber. Who did I say? Damn, I really gotta write this shit down. Tressa, Vernisha, Amber, Kyra, and then number 5 is gonna be Liz. I like Liz. Something about Liz, I really, really like Liz. But for my guys, it's just I have a top 3, and that's Joel, that's David, and KG. That's it. I don't see it for none of the other dudes. Jason, I think Jason needs to go get therapy. Number 1, I think Jason needs therapy. AJ, go get a job. Diedrich, he's teetering at this point. He's teetering with me. I still don't get a good vibe from him, but he's teetering. He moved up in this episode, and we're gonna talk about how he moved up for me. Troy, we're gonna talk about him. We definitely gonna talk about Troy. But yeah, when he said that, when David wanted to put trust in a homie vibe, I was like, damn, my girl going home. So then he asked, who was he out there with? David was talking to Tressa. Who else was he talking to? Who was he talking to? I forgot who he was talking to, but he was asking them would they be abstinent. It was Vernisha. I just remembered it because Vernisha was like, until when? He says marriage. And I was thinking to myself, like, David, how many times have you been married? Why are we doing this abstinence? Why? But he wants the girl to be abstinent. Ida, once again, she killed the vibe. So she broke up two of Stacy's dates. Because at one point, Stacy was talking to, I think the first time she interrupted a date, Stacy was talking to David. And I know she asked him, does he think he can marry both of them? And she said, wait, you was about to answer that question. I'm like, Ida, go away. But Ida ended up being the first woman to leave. Now, I was so confused why she was in her feelings. I didn't understand that. I mean, she was dead ass in her feelings. Didn't understand it. All right, you guys, let's move over to the dates. All right, so Alexis and Cheapy the Cheapskate went on a date. They meant to make candles. I tweeted this. I hope Alexis brought her debit card because Cheapy the Cheapskate might end up making you pay for this. Now, I know that production pays for it, so you guys don't have to be in the comments like, he didn't pay for it, production paid for it. I know. It's a joke. Laugh. Laugh. That was a terrible laugh. Now I will say though with Alexis, I'm not gonna defend I'm not gonna defend AJ because I'm gonna talk about AJ deeper. But you guys remember, I was just telling you that AJ was having a conversation with Stacy, right? Stacy was talking about she knows measurements, right? He said, I'm gonna stop there before it goes, because he was trying to lead in with his, his manhood. But when he's on this date with Alexis, now Alexis, she kind of did lead with sex just a little bit. I will say that she did lead with sex, but I don't think it was to the point that she was saying, take me home, fuck, bang me, just bang my brains out. I don't think she was going that far. But I can see when we saw her package in the first episode with the Meet the Cast, you guys remember she was talking about guys just only want to have sex with her, and I was thinking to myself, well, when you got on a date with a guy, is this how you start a date out? Because if you start a date out like this, then what is a man to think? If you are, now we can sit and have a conversation about sex all day, every day. I'm the type of person, I like foreplay. I do. I like foreplay before we actually get to having sex. Like, play with, mentally, get me there mentally. Like, if you can mentally make me be like, damn, I can't wait to, experience sex with you, that's good. Because we can sit and talk about it all day, every day. Doesn't mean that we just have to, we can talk about it on the first date. It doesn't mean that we go home to your crib and that's the thing, that's what we about to do is have sex. No. I like you to stimulate my mind. Like, I'm a visual. I'm a visual person, and I just like to I like to envision things. So if you say, "Oh, I want to handcuff you to the bed and hop on top of you and stuff like that," or "Oh, I'm gonna wear a sexy negligee, and then when you come in the door, I'm just going, I'm gonna have a robe on and I'm just gonna drop the robe," like stuff like that. If we just talk about it, that's one thing. It doesn't mean, again, like I said, doesn't mean that we're gonna have sex right then and there. It's just, a little foreplay action, so to speak. But I don't think he likes that. So then we see Jason and Kyra. So Jason and Kyra on a date. I couldn't help but to look at his hairline. I mean, his edge up is all his edges start back here. Couldn't help but look at that. Then I noticed, they zoomed in on his feet at one point. You could see his pants, And then you can see his shoes. His shoes were untied and he had no socks on under his shoes. I'm like, I know them shoes gotta stink. But Jason and Kyra, they having a good time on their date. And, you know, he talks about, she asked him, like, I think is there something that you would like to do that you haven't done? And he said pretty much everything that he thought about doing, he's done it. There are some things that he hasn't done. And, you know, it could be because of depression. When she heard the word depression, they kind of put a pause on it for her because, you know, I guess her family has dealt with depression. But he did say he sought help. I think you need to go back to seek help, Jason. I don't think you're ready to love. I really don't. I just don't think Jason's ready. Especially after that story he told about his ex-girlfriend when he was going to propose to her. I just want to know how recent that was. I just don't think he's ready to love. But that's just my personal opinion. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. And we're going to move right on over. All right, you guys. So then we had 2 group dates. Now I'm trying to remember who all was on the first group date. So the first group date, I know Troy was there, Amber was there, I believe Andrea was there, I know Liz was there, I know Joel was there, and I believe, who else was there? Bernicia was there. Yeah, it's another guy. I believe it was Diedrich. Was it? I think so. But we found out with this date that, you know, Joel and Liz, they have a connection with one another. And we also know that Bernicia likes Joel. Troy is going around BSing. That's really what he's doing. And I'm so glad that Amber finally saw it. I'm like, girl, she even tweeted me tonight because I told her to run. She quote retweeted me. Like, Troy is BSing for real, because he got Amber on one side of him. He got Andrea on the other side. He's paying more attention to Andrea than he is to Amber. I think that's gonna come, and I think a lot of this stuff that he's doing is gonna come back and get him eliminated. I really hope so. And then the thing that really annoys me when it comes to him is the fact that he's so kissy, touchy-feely. It bothers me. Like, that really bothers me that he's kissy, touchy-feely with these women that you just met. Like, you dating 10 different women, so you just gonna kiss every one of them on the cheek? And I tweeted this, I'm like, dude, you know you're a walking Me Too movement, right? Like, you're really a walking Me Too movement. So the things that I want to say this in this video, like some of the things that I say about Troy, these are not jokes. This is how I feel. Like, this is how I feel. So if he's watching this, it is what it is. Just listen to what I'm saying, because like I said, you look like a walking Me Too movement, kissing these women. It would be one thing if it was a solo date. I would have an issue with it, because you're not asking the women, is it okay if I kiss you? Like, what's wrong with asking a woman, is it okay if I touch you like this, if I kiss you? What's wrong with that? Like, you a 51-year-old man and I'm a 31-year-old man, and I know better than that. And you're older than me by 20 years. And I know more than you at 31, but you 51. Okay, whatever. So then we had another group date, and this group date consisted of AJ, Alexis, Stacy, Diedrich, KG, Jason, and Tressa. I think that's who was on this date. I'm almost positive that's who was on this date. Now, once again, here's the thing. When it came to Alexis, the one thing I want for Alexis is to take that wig off, because you could literally see the lace in the wig. Alexis, you're very beautiful. You're a very beautiful woman, and you're drop dead when you take that. With your short hair, you look amazing, but that wig, it's ugly. It ages you. It makes you look like somebody's grandmother in a church. It makes you look like, it doesn't make you look like a first lady. It makes you look like one of the mothers of the church mothers. Just saying. So Alexis is it's a cooking class. So Alexis is partnered up with Kyra was there as well. So Alexis is partnered up with Deidre, and Stacy is partnered up with AJ. And this is the moment where I realized, because AJ was kind of turned off by how aggressive, his words, not my words, how aggressive that Alexis is. And I'm like, and then you got Stacy over here talking about, oh, let me feed my man. And I was like, oh, that's what it is with this cheap Negro. You want somebody that's gonna submit to you and do what you want them to do. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. If you wasn't broke, even if you know what, I ain't gonna say if you wasn't broke, I would understand it. I don't understand it, but the fact that you're broke, that's even worse. It's even worse that you're broke, my nigga. Worse. So Diedrich, he opened up to Tressa. Now you guys remember, he has a certain type, right? There's a lot of these men that have a certain type, and they ain't and they ain't something to sneeze at either. Was it Diedrich that said he did not like full-figured women? No, that was Troy. That was Troy that said no, that was Diedrich. One of these, who was it that said they don't like full-figured women? One of these men said that they don't. I'm almost positive. No, it might have been Troy. Yeah, it's Troy that liked the petite women. But I guess Tressa wasn't Diedrich's type at one point. I don't know what his type is. It should be anything that's breathing. I'm just saying, it should be anything that's breathing. But now he is looking at Tressa a little bit differently. But let's move on, you guys, and wrap the episode. All right, you guys. So nephew Tommy sits down with the guys, and he's asking them who is in a top, who's in a bottom. Diedrich is talking about how he likes Tressa. The one thing that I did catch, because I really wasn't listening to who they were talking about, who they like and who they don't like. Because again, like I said, most of the guys I don't like. I've told you guys who my top three are. That's David, that's Joel, and that's KG. Anybody else that's talking, I ain't listening to them. And then I'm glad that nephew Tommy actually said something to Troy about kissing all these women. Glad he said something to him about that. Because I was like, is anybody going to check him on that? And then Jason also mentioned that he was moving out of his apartment. And Joel came, he told Joel he was moving. And Joel came and helped him move. I'm like, And then Joel started crying. I'm like, man. Like, I knew I got a really good vibe from Joel when I first saw him. I'm like, I knew I got a good vibe from that man. I could just feel it from him. Like, he definitely gave him a good vibe. So, we see that Tressa and Diedrich are having a date, as well as Andrea and David. So, Diedrich is talking about how he likes the connection and the vibe with Tressa. And then David is talking to Andrea about, they talked at the mixer, but after that, it just kind of, it weaned off, they didn't talk to each other. So David and some of the other guys felt that she wasn't as assertive. This sounds like what they said last week about, what was old boy's name? The mailman. He wasn't assertive. But see, the thing with the men, how would y'all feel if the woman was assertive? How would y'all feel about that? If the woman was assertive, y'all would feel emasculated. Like, let's be real, y'all feel emasculated by that. Y'all be like, damn, she coming on kind of. You would be like what AJ is saying about Alexis, that she's aggressive. So it's weird to me when these people keep saying assertive. Y'all mean aggressive, but then when someone is aggressive, y'all have an issue with it. Do y'all know what y'all want? Like, that's the question that I have. Do y'all know what y'all want? So then on the other end, Diedrich is talking to Tressa, and Diedrich is telling Tressa that most of the guys got a big sister and a homie vibe from her. You know, I'm gonna put this out here because it's just how I feel. And I'm not saying that all the guys feel this way. I know one guy in particular that might not be looking at her weight, her size, you know, how she's built, and that would be Joelle. I don't think that Joelle would care how she's built because Joelle has a connection with Vernisha. And Vernisha and, you know, Tressa are, you know, voluptuous girls. So I don't think Joelle would have an issue with it. I just wonder about the other guys. I just wonder if it's the other guys that look at her. They look at her. She's a big girl, and she's a curvy girl. I'm not gonna say big girl. She's a curvy girl. She got you know, breasts, hips, and all of that. So she's voluptuous. So I don't know if they would have an issue with that. And then on top of that, the fact that she's a comedian, I wonder if those two things are what's putting her in the friendship homie vibe. The fact that, you know, they might not be attracted to a full-figure woman, or, you know, a full-figure woman, and the fact that she's a comedian. I wonder if that's what the issue is. But, you know, David tells Andrea she's not ready to love, so she's leaving. And then, you know, Diedrich tells Tressa that, you know, he fought for her to stay because he wants to get to know her, and he won out. And that was where the episode ended, you guys. So be sure to, you know, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Let me know in the comment section, who are your top, we gonna do this, since I gave you guys my top 3 guys, let's just say, who are your top 3 guys and who are your top 3 ladies? And we'll talk about that. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Let me know what you guys think about who went home. You know, Ida and Andrea. Do you think they make great choices with sending those 2 women home? Ida, 1000% yes. Hell yes, they made a great choice sending her home. Andrea, yeah, I guess so. Andrea and Liz, although I do like Liz, they've been single for too long. They've been single for 17 years. So it's kind of like them getting back on the tricycle at this point. But, you know, I mean, what can I say? Yeah, but let me know what you guys, let me know your top 3 men, top 3 women. Let me know if you guys agree with Ida and Andrea going home. Let me know, actually, let me know your bottom 3 guys and your bottom 3 women. And that is it, you guys. And I am off of here. As always, you guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Please remember to wash your hands and wear your mask and socially distance, and we'll get through this all together. Until the next one, you guys, I'm signing off. I'll see you guys Sunday for, thank God, it's the season finale of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Until then, guys, bye.